I heard about your video from TOS 100. I really like your idea. I had several teachers that were very good. I want to speak in detail about two that were also extremely funny and made their class time very enjoyable, even for someone like me that hated school. There was my 7th grade chemistry teacher, Mr. Davis. He had us doing experiments the vast majority of the time. He made them very fun too. Learning was fun and exciting there. He would say he was going to make us into scientists, and he really did. We learned all the material very well. I will never forget the experiment where I got to make hydrogen and ignite it in a test tube. That was so fun I did it multiple times. Then there was Mr. Dinwiddie, my 9th grade English teacher. He not only taught us English, he would give us life lessons. He would tell us interesting stories that had quite a bit of humor in them. They would also be about something that you have to know to be a successful adult. Plenty of useful information. And we of course learned English too. He also offered extra credit for any poetry or short stories that you turned in. Let me tell you, I wrote lots of poetry that year. He was okay with profanity and adult topics too, so I could even turn in limericks that I wrote. This was the kind of guy that you knew you could talk to about any problem you were having without having to worry about him judging you or telling your parents. I also briefly wanted to mention my 7th grade shop teacher. He was an older guy, near retirement age. He would purposely use phrases like pulled a boner and wearing rubbers in the rain. At first, I thought he didn't understand, but later I started to realize that he did indeed know what we thought of when he said stuff like that. He got a kick out of us snickering about it. He had a colorful way of explaining things that we would be doing on our projects. It's hard to explain, but he had an entertaining way of presenting things to the class. I had a couple math teachers in 8th and 9th grade that were really good too. Some teachers didn't get me because I was extremely intelligent, like genius level. More often than not, I was the smartest kid in class. However, I have ADD really bad, which I didn't know about at the time. So I was thought of as a lazy troublemaker who was absolutely brilliant but didn't apply myself at all. I'm going to be 35 in 2 months, so this was back when most teachers didn't know about stuff like that. These two did, though. They knew I was horribly bored out of my mind with all the repetition of doing 50 or 60 problems a day for a couple of days or even a week sometimes before we could move on to something else. I was used to having the argument where they would say, you need to show your work, and I would say, but I have the right answer, and then I would be told that I still need to show my work anyway. But I didn't get any of that from them. They understood how to teach me. One of them even encouraged me to enter a math competition. She would teach me more advanced stuff, and then I would also tutor the slow kids, which would make the more intermediate stuff stick in my mind. So I could almost do stuff like that in my sleep. I won 2nd at the regional contest. I didn't place at the state competition, though. I blame the Catholic Church for that, by the way, because I had my confirmation that morning before driving a couple hours away to where the state competition was being held. I already made a video where I angrily hurled profanity at Scott Walker, so I think this video supporting the teachers is good for balancing that out. I really wish the teachers in Wisconsin the very best. I appreciate the important job they are doing there. And to all the government employees there, I really hope this gets turned around for you. You all have my support 100%.